Garbage!
Punishing! Take a look around yourself!
This
is your life!
You're right. This is my life. I'm an 18-year-old boy living in a shack, surrounded by other shacks that we call a community. There are no roads, just pathways made of sand, connecting street after street. And that one main road, filled with potholes caused by dirty water from our houses, filled with cars that make a noise 24/7, filled with overflowing drains that pollute the air and cause an unpleasant smell. And there's that huge green container filled with garbage, which adds to that unpleasant smell. It's dangerous too. And as a result, every household has a weapon. They were all primary weapons, ranging from a knife to a machete. That's a gun. And only my father had one. He was a respectable man and the only man I lived with. And he was the most famous.
Why?
Obviously because he's the one who was selling alcohol. It was the joy of the community. I couldn't sleep. Disadvantages of having a tavern as a home. Drunk men fight a lot. I've seen a lot of action. I've seen a lot of blood too. Everyone is happy though. But everything changed. Yes. Everything changed. Right in the middle of the COVID-19 lockdown in South Africa, my community started burning. We were already hungry. As if things weren't bad enough. But the fire just wanted to take everything that was left. There were no taps, so we had to cross the main road in order to fetch water and then come back. Run! Run! My father shouted. There is no use, he said. But the community did everything they could to stop the fire. It was everything they had. I didn't realize it. But that moment, everyone was working together. The women were evacuating the young ones. The teenagers were running all over, spreading to find help. And the men were the ones who were crossing the road to stop the fire. Everyone waited for the fire truck to assist. But by the time it got there, it was too late. The fire was too violent. At the end of it all, everything was flat. My clothes were burnt. My house was burnt. All the food and all the infrastructure gone. But we had to rebuild. Because what was our community now looked like a soccer stadium.
Who are you? Where am I? Why won't you tell me anything?
Now listen to me carefully. We need you to read something for us.
What exactly? Why am I wearing highlights? This some kind of prison uniform?
Exactly.
Listen, I think you got the wrong guy. But you know what? I can help you get out.
Hey, read this. Now.
Fine. I live in Better Life, the community where survival of the fittest is key. If you don't look scary enough, people might bite you. It's the kind of disadvantage that comes with poverty. The streets are filled with stinking drain water and drunk people starting fights for no apparent reason. Every weekend, sometimes even weekdays, there is music booming from one household to another. One ritual that sets this community apart is how early in the morning mothers wake up at 5 a.m. to go borrow money for their kids to go to school fed. This sounds like you're answering a question.
Just read.
Fine. During the critical point of the pandemic, no kids were going to school, so their mothers didn't need to wake up early. Instead, they woke up early to clean. My next door neighbor, Noma Temba, tells me all her worries. Her little boy, Awonke, was confused during the pandemic because he suddenly wasn't allowed to go play outside with his friends. It's not all bad though. One time, I saw Temba, my friend, take his friend to school during the height of the pandemic. It was a prank that at least gave me hope that things will go back to normal one day. I wrote some of this just 2 weeks ago.
You did, except it's been 30 years from now. Continue.
So you're telling me this is 2051? Well, okay. Paragraph 3, I guess. It's not so much the community, but our local heroines, the mothers, at most 10 to 15 that agreed to not let their kids play outside because of the pandemic. Itemba Labantu, an organization, gave out parcels to help many communities survive during these hard times. If the local shop owners knew you, they would let you borrow food in bulk. Everyone was trying to survive. One time I also borrowed some food. I really needed to. I didn't get this far in my writing.
You're in the future. You already wrote this.
Fine,
Damn it.
Fine. The agreement that the 10 to 15 mothers made was supposed to be agreed upon by the whole community. But they fought against protecting their children. They would rather sacrifice their children just for them to be happy than enforce the rule. The kids that were not allowed to play outside the yard, their behaviors changed due to isolation. The mothers who used to wake up 5 a.m., now that schools reopened, they woke up earlier to go further to look for food for their children. Temba, the one that pranked his kid, still funny as ever. So I guess that didn't change, and that's a good thing. And finally me. I wasn't the most lenient person. I would get angry at little things, like giving me the wrong packet of chips when I didn't specify which chips I wanted. But now, I think I understand. Now that everyone has problems and I'm not the most important person in the world, I value my life and other lives more because of the constant reminder that anyone, even I, could get COVID-19 and die.
Good. Now you need to read that 3 more times and one to the public.
Wait.
We are the pearls of Africa. We are born in a shameful world. Therefore, each night we go down on our knees and beg for the blood of the Lord to wash away the sins of our ancestors. We come from a bloodline of warriors, kings and queens and true leaders. We are a reflection of bravery. We come from a past that's deeply rooted in tears of pain, and in every situation, whether it be apartheid, poverty, gender-based violence, racism, or COVID-19, we find comfort in music and dance. And you better believe it, because when we open up our vocals, every single person in the world would join in our harmony. Every single person in the world would stop to listen to the sound of our melody. Everyone would dance to the rhythm of our African drums. So let every single note from our music through your veins and let it bring peace to your heart. Put away the lies and the pride and let rise our talent like a stone that's ready to take on the whole world. We are the pearls of Africa. We shine when light is dim. Our sparkle brings hope to the hopeless. Our hearts and passion are a reflection of the future. We are God's masterpiece. Therefore, try not to measure our worth by our skin color. Try not to measure our knowledge by our age. Try not to measure our capability by our gender, because it doesn't matter whether you come from Madagascar, Asia, Europe, America, or Germany. If you know and you understand how powerful harmony is, then you are part of something huge. You are part of something beyond extraordinary. You are part of the pearl of Africa. Whether they have belittled you, called you all sorts of names, whether they've taken advantage of you, or the world seems to spiral out of control, or everything just seems to be standing still, whether you can't break through the shackles of depression or poverty, whether you suffered a great loss, or you are in a journey of self-discovery in time of difficulty, I call upon you. I call upon you in the name of our ancestors to come together so that your soul could find peace in my voice, so that your soul could find comfort in our songs, so that your soul could find joy in my dancing. For you are the pearl